Welcome to our second JDC West case simulation. Teams will have 18 to 20 minutes to present. A 10-minute warning will be indicated by cards, following warnings at 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. With 10 seconds remaining, I'll indicate the countdown like so, and cut you off at the end of that time. This will mark the beginning of the 5-minute Q&A period. At the end of the 5 minutes, there will be no more communication between teams and judges. You may finish answering the last question. After that, no further questions may be asked. Good luck. You may start when you're ready.
Opportunity. The Albany bauxite mine is located where? In Canada. Now, not just there in Canada, but at that location, it has access to a high quality, high grade bauxite, which is used in what? The process to make aluminum. Now, what is aluminum used for? Almost everything.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ajit, and joining me is my colleague here, and together we are SI Consulting, and we're going to take you through the Pan America bauxite case. So after analyzing the case, we looked at the primary problem. And what we've identified is, should Pan America bauxite accept Mimosa Ventures' offer? And we recommend that you take our proposed offer, which we will go through later, and give Mimosa Ventures 2% guaranteed payments for the next 7 years. So, looking into the problem identification, as I mentioned, the primary problem is, should Pan America bauxite accept Mimosa Ventures' offer, which is currently at $100 million upfront, 2% guaranteed payments for the first 5 years guarantee. The secondary problem that we also identified is the location of the deposit. 70% of the Albany mine is located below sea level, and also the current location of the mine is further up north. With the ice caps melting, there will be an increase in flooding, and there is, as mentioned in the case, there's a 10 to 15% chance of flooding occurring, and down the years, with the ice cap melting, it will also increase, which will severely hinder the mine's location. So, moving on to the quantitative versus quantitative analysis. Looking at the quantitative analysis, the cash reserves for Pan America has fallen to 16 million Canadian dollars, which is not a good sign moving on to wanting to pursue the Albany mine. Furthermore, the global aluminum production has the fastest growth of 8% in volume. Also, the demand for bauxite will increase by 10% in the next 5 years, as mentioned in the case of the table given, and also production will increase by 60%, which means that there is huge opportunity moving forward by pursuing the Albany mine. Also, looking at the qualitative side, or qualitative analysis, the bauxite that Albany Bay will be producing will be one of the highest quality bauxite, which most of the competitors are not producing. Also, bauxite is a key ingredient for aluminium, which means that without bauxite, aluminium will not be, there won't be any aluminium, and since Pan America will be producing the highest quality bauxite, it will actually help the aluminium being the highest quality. Also, there is a growing demand for the ore, which means that Pan America should move into the Albany mine and mine for bauxite. So, looking at the internal analysis, looking at the strengths for Pan America, the Albany Bay mine is able to produce high quality bauxite, but looking at it, there is a severe lack of high quality bauxite. And also the Albany Bay deposit is close to surface, which means that no underground shafts will be needed, which means that the company is saving costs in terms of building. You don't have to build underground shafts also. And also, the Albany Bay production can meet the current bauxite demand. And the weaknesses is that 70%, as I mentioned before, 70% of the mine is below sea level, which means that in the event flooding do occur, Pan America has to ensure that they have necessary equipment to ensure that they can sustain the flooding. And there's not enough capital, which is why having Mimosa Ventures is crucial, but we'll go through that later. Also, like I mentioned, the location of the mine is further up north with flooding. There will be an increase in flooding. Looking at the external analysis, the opportunities that we've identified is aluminum is almost used in everything, and without bauxite, aluminum will not be made. And also, high quality bauxite ore is becoming scarce. So, and the Albany Bay mine will be able to produce high quality bauxite. And threats that we've identified is there are well-established competitors in the industry, and these companies will also be able to produce bauxite down the road. And we feel that your company should dive into this earlier for the other companies. And as I mentioned, global warming is one of the major threats. Moving on to the current offer basically what's on the table. $100 million cash up front, 2% revenues for the next 25 years, and 5% guaranteed payment. This is what Mimosa is asking from Pan America. And Pan America has to take $75 million out in equity, of which 80% of the funds for the entire project will be financed through bank loan at 7% per annum. Our proposed offer. Sorry, moving back to the current offer. Assuming the current offer is accepted, assuming Pan America accepts the current offer by Mimosa mentioned, the ending cash reserve will be at $41 million Canadian dollars, and the total project cost we foresee it being $850 million for the next 25 years. And we've accounted each phase with a cushion of $50 million in case there's flooding occurring in any one of these phases, so that your company, so that Pan America is able to sustain the cost. And moving on to the proposed offer, we feel that your company should ask Mimosa Ventures to give you $100 million cash up front, 2% revenues for the next 7 years guaranteed that you will pay them. And then again, you take up $75 million in equity, of which 80% of the funds will be financed through bank loans at 10% per annum.
So starting to look at the numbers here. Starting off with the revenue for 2016. So the revenue here is the ending cash balance of $16 million. And the $16 million is going to be including there with the equity that your business has to put forward to go forward with this deal, which is $75 million. Now, from Mimosa, you are receiving $100 million. So the total there is $160 million minus the 75. So you're getting $40 million there to move forward with this deal. Now, for the bank loan, we are suggesting that you cannot go ahead with receiving the bank loan in 2016. You wait until 2017, where you actually will need the financial capital to move forward. In 2017, your total cash increases to $99 million. And this $99 million is due to the fact that by June 2017, the mine will be open, which means you'll have 6 months of revenue coming in, and that is where you're seeing the $99 million. Now that is just with 6 months. That's not including the full year. So now when we're moving forward to 2018, you're seeing that total cash increase to $500 million. And you'll see further increases along the way. By the time you reach 2023, your total revenue is $1.2 billion just from that one mine. Now, as you mentioned earlier in the analysis about all these competitors in the industry. Now, these competitors are producing anywhere from 100 to 400 million tons per annum of bauxite. Now, the question here, though, is it the same grade? No, it's not. Pan Am is actually mining a higher quality ore, which will then be further used for profits later on when they have third-party sellers. And you can see here that by 2021, the bank loan is paid back in full, which is a lot different than when we proposed offer, where the bank loan was carried forward for 25 years. Moving forward to the next slide. We're going to be looking at the 3 phases here. So through the 3 phases, we have added a buffer for the flooding, as mentioned earlier. By having that $50 million for each phase, we are accounting for the fact that if there is a flood, we have the financial capabilities to be best suited to combat that. Now, for flooding will mainly occur from May to September. That is our key assumption here. Because even for the winter time, with colder temperatures, there's less chance of a flood. There may be a higher chance of storms because the water is usually at a calmer state. We will not see the conditions for a flood. For the operating costs, as the mine increases in size, so will the operating costs until it reaches 150 million in 2023. This includes the administration costs back in Yellowknife. Now, looking at the total cost peaks in 2019. In that year, that was with phase 2, that huge $200 million investment there. For the profits again, they will be dipping in 2019, but they will be ending off with $700 million in the bank to move forward with other possibilities for your business. So today, the recommendation is to take this proposal and give Mimosa Ventures 2% guaranteed profits for the next 7 years. Moving on to our implementation. So Josh, what needs to happen here is these 3 phases need to be followed. So in 2017, phase 1 needs to start construction. Phase 1, part 2 has to start in 2019, followed with 2023 with phase 2. Now, the investments for these is 300 million, 200 million, and then finally with the 350 million. By the time you're at this 350 million, the increase is at 245% by the end of this project. Starting off, you see the increase in production at 500%. So from 1 million ton per annum to 5 million tons per annum, that is a huge increase there in production. And the key there is that it's a high quality ore used as a key to make aluminum. Moving to the risks of net, starting with flooding. So by delaying any given phase by 1 year, there will be enough cash reserves left over to prepare for the potential to have another flood. So by having this buffer of 50 million, you are set up for success for the first 2 phases until you see the revenue start to flow from this mine. Now, there is a First Nation community close by. So it is very important that you ensure that they understand that the land will be used for mining. As it is their land, you are using it for these activities. Now, for Mimosa Ventures, what happens if they do not accept this offer? Well, as Mimosa Ventures is one of many large financial institutions in Canada, and possibly even in the States, that would be interested in this opportunity, it is very likely that you will find other avenues to go around with this deal. So with this, there may need to be some renegotiating to make sure that the deal you get is the best for your business. Finally, going back to the primary problem, should Pan America Bauxite accept Mimosa Ventures' current offer? And the answer is to take the new proposed offer and give Mimosa Ventures 2% for the next 7 years. And it may seem like a lot to be asking for this 7 years. However, with the profits realized of 700 million at the end of year 2023, the expansion of phase 2, this is more than fair for their contribution to help you get there. We are SIA Consulting. We'd like now open the floor for any outstanding questions we have.
What would the 2% for 7 years cost?
the 2% for 7 years, the total cost of that from starting in 2017 would be, starting in 2017, would be 16 million in 2017, and then it would grow to 30 million in 2018, and stay like that for the next 3 years, and then we'd finish off with 40 million for each of the following years.
So if I can go to the bank and borrow 100 million for 7%, why would I be paying such a premium for their 100 million? Because you're basically doubling my interest costs.
The reasoning there is that currently Pan Am is only focusing on bauxite. We believe after this project that with Mimosa's backing of the original project, there'll be further financial opportunities with them to further grow your operations. Currently, the only smelter is in China for aluminum, the main one. And so actually having the resources with the third-party sellers to get your products, to get your ore over to China to get it smelted is a long process.
Currency hedging is a big risk because you're receiving your revenues in USD, but you're paying royalties in Canadian dollars. So I was kind of wondering the logic behind not signing any future contracts or trying to hedge against that.
We'll have to get back to you on that question later on.
Okay.
So you haven't to perform any sensitivity on your forecasted numbers, because I think this seems super positive. But like it is forecasted in the future that there's going to be an oversupply of aluminum / bauxite. So I was wondering how that kind of factors into your analysis. So everything seems very, very good.
The main reason here is that for the bauxite, because it's a high quality, scarce resource, that the oversupply is being seen with the competitors of them making between that 100 to 400 million tons per annum. By making smaller amount, however, that higher quality will be able to combat that oversupply.
So you maybe sell at the commodity price level. Like if the entire market is oversupplied, do you think that that's going to affect our spot prices because we pay at the market price?
By looking at the whole market, by having different products, because we're having a high quality, we're not going after the aluminum cans. We're going after, you're going after the higher quality products for the aluminum. So even though that you will be going with the same spot price,
now you mentioned delaying phase 1 as one of your mitigations. Where do you plan to get the money? Because you owe royalty payments year 1. So how is that going to work? Royalty payments year 1 to 7 if you're delaying phase 1.
Phase 1 only delay if there's money. Then we already budgeted for funding, so we can cover the funding costs. And the royalty payment of it because it was 16 million. So we budgeted for 15 million cushion, of which I'm sure we can cover the royalty payment. When the funding happens and we have to proceed.
You touched on the risk from First Nations, and the indication was we'll keep them informed. I was wondering if you could kind of elaborate on that, because I'm still not sure. Just informing them, and I feel like it's like, well, about informing them, they might suddenly realize this is happening and they might be pushed back. So how do I kind of make sure they're not?
We didn't really look into that into detail, but we will keep looking at that to you on that.
I have another question. You guys gave us operating cost projections. I was wondering if you had any detail as to how those projected numbers came about for operating costs.
the thing with the operating cost is the rental of the machinery as the mine grows. So it's starting off relatively reasonable with the 50 million in 2017. And then by 2023, it goes up to 100 million. With that, it's just showing that the increase of volume of all of the equipment will be needed to be paid for.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for questions today. The 10 to 15-minute feedback session will now begin. If I could please ask all members of the audience to leave the room, that would be greatly appreciated.